In this video, we're going to learn how to play Spike Driver Blues, and it sounds like this. So to play Spike Driver Blues, you start with a G chord. Some people like to do their G chord like this. I call this cowboy G, especially if you double these fingers up. Oh, wrong, no, like that. You hear that a lot in country music. It sounds really great. But what I want you to do is do it this way, because you're going to need this index finger for some notes back here. So what you do is you start with your pinky on the 3rd fret of the 1st string. With your ring finger, you reach over the top and you grab the 6th string 3rd fret. Those are both G's. Now your middle finger, you got to put it on the 2nd fret of the 5th string. And it's kind of weird though, because we actually don't ever really end up using that note in this song, because your thumb, once you have your G chord, you take your thumb and you play the 6th string and then the 4th string. And actually you just want to practice that quite a bit. You have to get that to where it's pretty much automatic and you're not missing the string. 6, 4, 6, 4. Remember, we count from the floor. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's your E string and your D string you're playing. Of course, it's not an E and a D anymore because we're holding a G right here. So it's actually a G and a D. G, D, G, D. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it's 1, 5, 1, 5. So once you get your thumb going nice and even on those bass notes, just remember that you're going to pretty much do that the whole way through the song. Thumb's just going back and forth. When we start adding more details, it's going to be easy to forget that and get a little confused about where your thumb goes. So practice that a lot more than you think you need to, just so it's kind of automatic going back and forth, just like breathing. You don't have to think about it. If you hit the low bass note last, then you know the high bass note is next. It's just kind of automatic. And then if you hit the high bass note last, then you know the low bass note. They just alternate back and forth. Alright, so now let's add some detail. The pinky, we're going to bring it right now in the normal G chord. That pinky is on the 3rd fret of the 1st string. Right there. But what we're going to do is we're going to bring it over to the 2nd string. And then I'm going to pinch string 6 and 2. Just like that. Playing them both at the same time. Now if you think about it, when I'm doing that pinch, my thumb is on string number 6. So the next note my thumb plays is going to be string number 4. So it's like this. Pinch, thumb, pinch, thumb. Notice I'm using my thumb and my index finger. Using the right finger is really important here. Pinch, thumb, pinch, thumb. Practice that a lot until that starts to feel kind of automatic. Because the next step is this. You're going to pinch, and in between, you're going to use your middle finger on the 1st string. Which remember, it's open, because this pinky is on the 2nd string. So that means there's no fingers on that 1st string. It's just an open E string. So again, back to the plucking hand, we're pinching 2 and 6 and immediately following up with our middle finger on 1. And it should sound like this. And then you can add the high thumb after that if you'd like and make a loop out of it. Pinch and thumb, pinch and thumb, pinch and thumb. Now let's make a full measure out of it just for practice. You'll go pinch and thumb, and then 2 more thumbs. Pinch and thumb, 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 pinch and thumb, thumb, thumb. Now the thumb is beats 1, 2, 3, 4. So the melody note, the high note, if it is a pinch, it goes on 1, 2, 3, or 4. But if the melody note goes in between the thumb notes, we call that an and. So this rhythm would sound like this. 1, let's see, 1 and 2, 3, 4. 1 and 2, 3, 4. 1 and 2, 3, 4. You see this thumb is very steady. It never speeds up or slows down. It's like a clock ticking. And that in between note, the and note, it feels like it's faster. It's not. It's just coming in between the thumbs, and that gives it the feeling of kind of coming sooner. So it feels like it's faster even though it's not. But yeah, you just pinch and thumb, 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 pinch and thumb, 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 pinch and thumb, thumb, thumb. So that's where you're at right now. Now we're going to put the rest of the measure together. So we're going to change it a little now. So we're going to go pinch and thumb. And before we go to that next thumb note, we have to do something over here. We're going to bring our pinky over to the first string, 3rd fret, just like we do on the normal G chord. And we're going to hit with our middle finger. Oops, that was wrong. We're going to hit that note right there. That's the 3rd fret of the 1st string. And that's going to be an and also, and it's going to come before the next thumb. So let me approach this real slowly. What we did was we did pinch and thumb. Now you're going to move that pinky over and hit that high string again, and thumb, thumb. Now I'm going to put up the tablature for you so there's a little diagram that shows you what's going on. And remember, you just have to move that pinky over in the middle of the measure. Pinch and thumb, thumb. Pinch and thumb, thumb. Here's the right hand, pinch and thumb, thumb. And here's the left hand, pinch and thumb, thumb. You can see me moving that pinky. Now back to the right hand. Pinch and thumb, thumb. 1 and 2 and 3, 4. 1 and 2 and 3, 4. So this can take a week or so to get this. Just a few minutes every day, and it should come. All right, now let's move on to the second measure. So here's why I had you do this G with the pinky instead of cowboy G. Because we're going to go to G7 next. So what you have to do is lift up the pinky and put down the index finger on the 1st fret of the 1st string. And if you pinch that, it should sound like that. Or if you strum the whole chord, it sounds like that. It's a G7 chord. So now we're going to go, we're pinching strings number 1 and 6. I'm using my middle finger and my thumb. And then you can use your index finger too if you want there. Because your next note is an and, where you lift your index finger up and you play the open E string. So if you want to loop it, you go pinch and thumb, thumb, thumb. Pinch and thumb, thumb, thumb. Pinch and thumb, thumb, thumb. You can pluck real fast twice with the same finger, or you can do one finger and the other. Alright? A couple ways to do that. Alright, now let's add our next note. We want to put our pinky back down here, 3rd fret of the 2nd string. So now I'll show you that measure, and it's going to look like this. Pinch and thumb and thumb, thumb. Pinch and thumb and thumb, thumb. Pinch and thumb and thumb, thumb. Do that for a few days until it's automatic. Once you've practiced those two parts separately, you can add them together. Do it again. After you've practiced it a bunch, see if you can come back to this part of the video and play it with me. I'll count us in. 1, 2, 3, 4. And now I'll show you the next part. We're going to take that pinky and we're going to move it to the 3rd string now. And we're going to pinch string 6 and 3 with our thumb and index finger. And right after we do that, we're going to bring in that middle finger for a and. The and is on the 2nd string open. So it should sound like that. Practice that until it's nice and easy. Use the right fingers on the right hand. Look, I'm going to pinch with thumb and index, and I'm going to come in with the middle, just like that. Looks like a little person running on there. Now, the next note, I'm going to lift my pinky off of that G string, make it open again, and I'm going to pluck that open G string, the open 3rd string. And thumb, thumb. So all together, that measure looks like this. I'm looping it now. Pinch and thumb and thumb, thumb. Pinch and thumb and thumb, thumb. Pinch and thumb and thumb, thumb. So similar pattern with this hand. And over here, I'm just lifting my pinky halfway through the measure. So I'll put all that together for you now, and I'll count it nice and slow so that in a few days or a week or two, you'll be able to join me. Here we go. 1, 2, and 3, and 4. And again now. Again now, right here, go. And we'll do it again right here. You might have noticed on one part I made a little mistake where I accidentally hit a few strings. Sometimes I actually do that on purpose. It's called playing dirty. It gives it a little richer sound. See. What I'm doing is when I pluck the string, I'm kind of letting my finger accidentally rake over some of the other strings. So I'm just, instead of plucking just that one note, I'm kind of letting it hit some of those other strings. Makes it sound a little more like a chord. Alright, well let's just call that the first step in learning Spike Driver Blues. And then in video number 2, we'll cover the next part of the song.